Welcome to Off the Shelf with Christine and Katie. This month we are delving into some mythology with a twist. The library was the recipient of the NEA Big Read grant and is reading Circe by Madeline Miller. So we thought it would be kind of nice to give you some other mythology retellings, which is a favorite of mine.
Yes, first for me, so I'm now going to be newly educated.
So now, unfortunately, the room that we normally film in is under renovation, so in the meantime, please enjoy our lovely scenery in the background here.
Enjoy the library.
We do hope you enjoy these titles and help you find a new favorite or two. I hope you do as well.
I hope so. And as always, so settle in, grab a cup of your favorite beverage, and enjoy these recommendations. Let us know in the comments what you think of these picks, and if you have any titles to add. Trust me, I need some more to get to know when the grant comes around. And as always, if you would wish to be notified of new videos, be sure to like and subscribe below. But as always, let's get to those books.
Let's get to those books. Okay, and Katie, you're going to
Alrighty.
give us a start with
Circe by Madeline Miller. So Circe by Madeline Miller is perhaps best known for the part she played in Odysseus' tale. Here is Circe's story told from her point of view. Despised by her divine family, she discovers her power of sorcery when she turns a human fisherman into a god. You know, typical Tuesday.
Absolutely.
When he spurns her for another nymph, Celia, Circe transforms her rival into a horrific sea monster who becomes the scourge of all sailors, an act that will haunt Circe for the rest of her life. Now, I have never read it, but everyone who's described to me this book has told me they love it.
I love it. I'll tell you, I really love Greek mythology, and I somehow did not know the origins of Scylla, the sea monster, and she's in the Percy Jackson books too. So.
Oh, that's true. That's interesting.
So
Just
anyway.
a side tidbit.
So next up we have the Song of Achilles, which is also by Madeline Miller.
Speaking of more Madeline
So
Miller.
it's another one by her there. This is the retelling of the epic love story of Achilles and Patroclus, set against the backdrop of the Trojan War.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
And the next one we're going to recommend for your mythology journey with me is The Shadow of Perseus by Claire Haywood. And this is a reinterpretation of the myth of Perseus told through the perspectives of three women sidelined in the original story, as they always seem to be.
Yeah.
Yep, from his mother Dione, his trophy Medusa, to his wife Andromeda, this reimagining displays how Perseus to them isn't really much of a hero at all.
I always love when you get the tales from the other side. You know,
Yeah.
usually you just hear about the hero. In this one, these are three different women at different points of his life,
Yeah.
and you get to hear
Their perspective.
what they think of Perseus.
Interesting.
Then we have 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by Ellen O. This is where 15 authors of Asian descent reimagine the folklore and mythology of East and South Asia. They're in short stories ranging from fantasy to science fiction to contemporary, from romance to tales of revenge. This is perfect for you people who like short stories. You don't have to read an entire book. You can break it down and have little ones.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the next one we're going to recommend is called Stone Blind by Natalie Haynes. This empathetic look into Medusa's life tells the story of a vulnerable woman who was taken advantage of by a man in power and then blamed for his transgressions. It seems to always happen in mythology, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And bringing new life into this mythic tale, Haynes brings Medusa into a light the way that's relatable into the present. Reminds me very much of a Wicked background.
Yeah, well, this is the case, you know, it's Poseidon who commits the transgression, and Athena curses Medusa to become Medusa with the snakes and all that. And,
That's lovely.
As gods will do.
I was always punished for something they're always tangentially related to.
Next up, we have Pandora, a novel by Susan Stokes Chapman. Now, this is a reimagining of Pandora's myth, which takes readers on a journey to London in 1799. The book is appealing to both fans of historical fiction and mythology. It explores themes like fate and hope, secrets and deception, and even has a hint of romance mixed in.
So it has a bit of everything
for you.
All right, and on to our next recommendation, which is Phaedra, a novel by Laura Shepardson. And Phaedra has been cast to the side all of her life. Daughter of an adulteress, sister of a monster, and now an unwilling bride to the much older, power-hungry Theseus. Ah, such a story already. Young, naive, and idealistic, she's accepted her lot in life. Resigned to existing under the sinister weight of Theseus' control and the constant watchful eye of her handsome stepson, Hippolytus.
Now let's move on to Phaedra's sister, Ari Adney. This is a novel by Jennifer Saint. This is the retelling of the Theseus and Minotaur myth from the perspective of Ari Adney, the princess of Crete and the sister of the Minotaur, who helps Theseus conquer the labyrinth and defeat the Minotaur. She is later abandoned and eventually marries the god Dionysus. This debut novel recounts her story not as a footnote to the tales of these heroic men, but as the heroine of her own. So it's kind of interesting to note the one sister winds up marrying the older, I guess, has-been hero, and she winds up marrying a god. That's, I guess, always being cast in shadow. Huh?
Interesting. I guess so. Alright, and the next one I recommend is one we've mentioned before, but it is The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. And this book tells the story of 3 different people across a Norse mythology-inspired land. Orca's story is about how her son is kidnapped and her attempt to find him and get him back. So Elvar is a young warrior trying to prove herself as part of her clan, the Battlegrim. And Varg used to be a thrall, but is now seeking freedom and a home. That's very interesting, actually.
Yes. Moving along with some Norse things, we have The Witch's Heart by Guinevere.
Still on my TBR.
We're gonna check. When a banished witch falls in love with the legendary trickster Loki, she risks the wrath of the gods, naturally. This novel features many well-known and a few lesser-known Nordic stories, namely the ones that involve Loki.
Always seems to involve Loki.
Of course.
Alright, and now some more teen recommendations on this side of things. And this beautiful cover is The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axia O. And due to generations of storms and civil war, Mida's country has taken to sacrificing one girl every year to the sea god, because that always works.
Absolutely.
They hope to find the sea god's true bride and put an end to all the storms. This is a fantasy story inspired by Korean myths.
It was a very good read. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then we have Psyche and Aos by Luna McNamara. When Psyche angers the love goddess Aphrodite, Aphrodite sends Eros, the god of desire, to deliver a very cruel curse. However, the curse backfires and he is cursed to fall for her.
Who saw that coming?
But if she ever looks upon his face, they will be parted forever. This is perfect for fans of Madeline Miller and V.D. Shaw.
And the next one we're going to recommend is another one with a very beautiful cover, is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. This book is inspired by the legend of Chen Yi, the Chinese moon goddess, in which a young woman's quest to free her mother pits her against the most powerful immortal of the realm. It's really interesting. I read a little bit of it.
Yeah, I've read a little bit of it. It seems very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So those are just a few of the mythology retellings that are out there, but there are so many more. Be sure to let us know in the comments if you have any other favorites and what you think of these picks.
And if you'd like to check out any other events for the NEA grant that we're going to be having this month, or any other mythology events, please check the link in our description below.
All right, well, until next month, happy reading.
Take care.
Take care.